I had a friend with an issue. She had a table of data in Excel and she was adding more and more to it. And every time she had to add more, she'd have to move the total row down one to add more data. So she asked me, how can I actually get the data in there, add more without having to move it? There are two solutions. Let's look at them now. So I have a spreadsheet here, and it has this is just sample data. It has some names, some categories, and some scores. Now what I'd like to do is have a total for the scores. So there's two ways I can do it. The first way is probably not my favorite. I do like it for really long amounts of data, but on something like this, I'd probably not use this method. So as I said, this is the first way. So I'm just going to insert a couple of rows at the top. And then I'm going to put the total at the top. Okay, and then I can add more data. And as I said, this is really great for really long amounts of data. And then you just look at the top and you can see the totals. Okay, now the second way is the preferred way. This is the way I like. So what I do is I click on the Home tab, and then I go across to the Styles group, and you have Format as Table. Now before you go in here, just like I did, you have to click somewhere in your data. And if your data has blank rows and columns, it's not going to help or create this automatically. So try to make sure you have no completely blank rows or columns within your data. Now your data is known as a record set. Okay, so if you ever hear or read help files and it says record set, it just means your list with no blank rows or columns within. So I click on Format as Table. I then select the color I like or the patterns. You can do all sorts here. I'm just going to do it this one. You select whether it has a header. If the data for the table is wrong, so if the little walking ants around it is not in the right place, you can change this, and then you click on OK. Okay, so that's easy. How do we get the totals at the bottom? Once you've done that, anytime you are in your table, you will have this table design. So if I click out of it, it disappears. Click in, it's there. I click on table design and I have lots of options. So the name of the table, and most of the time I just leave it as what it is. But if I'm giving it to a client, if I'm using it somewhere quite a lot, then I might change the name to something that I remember. You can also resize the table. You can convert it back to a range, which means take the table off. Remove duplicate, summarize with a pivot table, slicer. One day I'll do a video on this. They are great. Type in the comments if you want a video on what slicers are and how they work. They're fantastic. You can export it, refresh it, etc. This is what I want. Table style options, total row. You tick total row and then you get the total at the bottom. Usually it tries to add one in for you, but say we didn't want the sum. What you can do is when you click on it, you get a little drop down. And then you have functions. So these are common functions or common calculations. And there's more functions at the bottom. So I could choose a count. I could choose an average or a sum. I can even go into other columns and add. So if I wanted to know how many plus the total, I can. So you're not restricted to one calculation. You can have a lot. Now, how do you get another line? Well, when I'm in the last, when I press Tab, I can now enter more. Okay, let's say it's not that one. When you press enter, it does just go to the next line. You do want to press that tab key, okay? And then it just pushes everything down, including that total, automatically. So if you found this video useful, helpful, or interesting, please do click on the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos. Also, write in the comments any other topics or queries you have, and I might create a video for you. Take care and have a great day. Bye for now.